Hello everyone, WRC has been out for a couple of weeks now. I haven't had a time to try it, but yesterday I went ahead and I bought the game and I've been playing around a little bit, and I found that there is this rally school section of the game that has 12 lessons in total. The first 4 being basic and the remainder being advanced, and these basically teach you the fundamentals of rally, in quotes. I mean, it's teaching you how to play the game and how in theory you should drive a rally car, but I mean, obviously it is, you know, just it is not really a simulator of a game, so the things that you learn are not going to be so accurate to real life, but they're pretty much bang on the money of how you should be driving a rally car. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to split this up into 2 videos. We're going to do one video for the basic lessons because they're a bit longer, and then we're going to do a second video for the advanced lessons. So let's go ahead and jump into the basic lessons. So here we are with lesson number 1. This is just a basic familiarization test. Super simple. Don't exceed 129 kph, stay within the course boundaries, stop the car where it needs to be stopped at the end of the session, and make sure that you complete all of this under 1 minute. Every single lesson, because I forgot to mention, is done on snow, asphalt, and gravel, since those are the only 3 surfaces that we'll be driving on. So yeah, let's hop into the snow run. So here we are on the snow section of lesson 1. There's not much really to say about these this lesson in specific. It's quite easy. You don't have any co-driver calls. You're just sort of driving the track, making sure that you keep it within the cones and you keep it within the speed limit, which is 129 kph. I think that's the most important thing to keep in mind, is the speed limit, because there are certain parts where you can exceed it, and this part here with that cone right there, that is actually really easy to touch. I've touched that multiple times, so it doesn't need to be perfect, as you know, case in point, as you can see. I mean, you have a whole minute to do this, and I think we crossed the line here after missing 4th gear and, you know, crashing into the stone. I think we end at 45 seconds, just under. So yeah, super easy. Let's hop into the asphalt section. Same thing, the track is obviously different. You're still driving blind with no co-driver calls, but this is a bit more technical of a track. Ignore the left tap that we just gave the wall there. You didn't see that? No one saw that? But yeah, again, super easy. I mean, I can probably get my girlfriend to do this, and with some help and persuasion, I'm sure she can actually get them pretty easy. So again, I think they're a minute each, snow, gravel, and tarmac, asphalt, whatever. They're getting stopped in the in the blue box. But yeah, they're pretty much a minute each, so you have all the time in the world to do it. The gravel one was a little bit tricky because the first corner is like a very long right-hander, as you'll see here. But again, I mean, as I missed 3rd gear yet again using the H pattern with clutch. So yeah, here I guess it would be easy to either touch the cones on the left or just run out wide and touch the cones on the right. But I mean, again, if you just go at a decent pace, you don't need to go super fast here. You just sort of learning the car. Here it would be easy to go off. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say about this lesson. It is quite easy. You're just kind of learning how the game works and behaves, how the car that you're driving works and behaves, and yeah, you're just sort of dipping your feet and see how everything works. So yeah, let's head on to lesson 2. Here we are with lesson number 2. It is pretty much identical to lesson number 1, with the only difference being that you're actually going to have co-driver calls this time. So this lesson is really here just to sort of get you aligned with what to expect when you hear the calls. So yeah, let's jump into the run. So here we are with the first snow run of lesson number 2. This is the first time that we're having co-driver call out. So yeah, we're just kind of learning exactly what everything means here. I mean, as you can see, 5 right, 5 left. We're sort of getting an idea of how we should approach, or how we should approach building the racetrack in our head based on the co-driver's calls. I believe the narrator in the first section of this lesson basically tells you that, well, nasty slam into the wall there. I don't even remember doing that. But yeah, the narrator basically tells you that the number assigned to the corner is not the speed or gear, but it's more so the severity. So it's just something that you have to learn. Again, this test is really easy, as you can see there. I mean, we smacked the wall, we went really slow around the outside there. So I mean, it's not really that difficult. You just have to, again, make sure that you don't exceed 129 kph and you keep everything sort of within track limits. You don't really need to stop here. You can go all out as we move to the asphalt section now. But yeah, you don't really need to stop in the blue box at the end. You can just sort of gun it through and the game will stop for you. So yeah, there's that. Now this particular part of the lesson, whatever, on asphalt, as you can see, the speed that we're hitting there, we're just under 129 Ks, and I'm feathering the throttle a lot. So you have to be really careful not to go over 129 because you will fail the test. And obviously we're trying to not fail the test. That's a very smart way of thinking about it, Manny. Good on you. That's some high IQ conversation that I'm having with myself here. But yeah, again here, another spot where you could easily go over 129 Ks. I was feeding the throttle to make sure that I don't actually go over 129. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about this one either. This is a really technical sort of part of the track. There's like this part in specific where it goes left and then long right-hander. But yeah, I mean, again, super easy. Shouldn't be that hard. However, as we come to the end here, we'll just have a look at the speedo. We just go over 130 Ks, pretty much. It feels like on the last frame, and we actually fail it. So we'll go ahead. We'll try it again. Make sure not to go over 129 Ks at the finish line here. And you'll see, for me to be lifting to not go too fast in a rally game, it sort of shows you that the bar is not really that high to pass these lessons. I mean, they're not really that hard, you know what I mean? If you just do exactly what the guy tells you to do, like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Obviously, if you do what he tells you to do, you're gonna pass. I'm obviously not the smartest person right now, but you get what I mean. It's just you have to be just on the limit basically here, going 128 Ks and just lifting and coasting to the hairpin here. I'm going what it feels like at a snail's pace almost, like I'm fighting with myself to stay off the throttle pedal. But I mean, if I want to actually get through the lessons, then this is what I'm going to have to do. Unfortunately, there's no real way around it. So we're just coming to the left and right-hander here, and then straight to the finish line. We're going to make sure to stay exactly under 129 Ks so we can get that pass, and that was successful, very easy. So now we go on to the gravel section of lesson 2. Now this one it's not that hard. It is a little bit difficult because for some reason they made or at least it feels like they made the gravel sections a little bit harder than they need to be. But I mean, again, not that hard. It is kind of technical because you go square right followed by another square right that are right next to each other pretty much. But then it's just, straight all the way through up until you get to, another square right. So yeah, as you can see, just a little bit technical. You can get away with touching the wall here. I have done that before. You can get away with touching the wall here as well, and here on the right too. It's just you gotta make sure that you don't like fly off the track basically. And if there's cones like right there on the left, you just have to make sure not to touch them. Again, I stalled the car here basically. I thought that we could clutch kick it in second gear going around, but we can't. Unfortunately, the car is not that powerful. But yeah, just transferring the weight here towards the end, just running to the line now, making sure to stay underneath 129, but we can pretty much guess it all the way through, and we'll run at 125. So here we are, lesson number 3. Super simple, just manual starts and straight line braking. So you basically just have to get off the line somewhat quick at less than 0.8 seconds, achieve a speed of 121 kph, and then just make sure that you stop you start braking within the designated area, and then you basically just come to a stop. So let's go for the snow run here. Again, this is really easy. There's not really much to say. You just have to get a good launch off the line, Wait until you see the braking marker just coming up here, which is these two squares. Hit the brake and just come to a stop, basically. That's pretty much it. Let's move on to the asphalt section now. Again, exactly the same thing. There's pretty much no differences here when it comes to these tests. You just accelerate off the line. Again, not much to say here. I do, however, manage to actually fail this one because my monkey brain took over and I started braking just before the braking marker and failed. So, silly me. Whatever. Go ahead and we're going to do this one again. Again, nothing really that hard. Just get off the line as quick as you can. Wait until the braking zone comes along and just slam on the brakes and Bub's your uncle. You'll be all set. And again, same thing, gonna go for the... Oh, thank you, Jim. Jim said we should be a professional. Yeah, look at us go, Jim. Oh, yeah. Gravel section, exactly the same thing. Just get a good launch off the line. Wait until the braking marker comes... Well, wait until you reach the braking marker. And then just slam on the brakes, basically. I slammed on the brakes really hard here and almost didn't get stopped. But thankfully, all was good.
Let's take a look at the next lesson.
Lesson number 4 is a bit of a curveball. It has nothing to do with actual rally. This is a lesson about regularity rally. That is a mouthful to say, Jesus. But yeah, basically the time doesn't really matter per se. So it's not about how fast you can be, but there is an average speed or an average time that is calculated per sector. And for every second that you are off that specified time, you get penalty points. So the goal is to finish with less than 35 penalty points, and you have to basically just get as close as you possibly can to the designated target time for every sector. Again, you have to make sure to keep it within the track, so no off tracks. And yeah, there is no speed limit in this one. So yeah, let's head on to the snow run. So here we are for the snow run. This was a bit of a weird one. I did not really do this first try. As you can see, I basically stalled off the line there just so I can slow myself down a little bit because I was going just a little bit too fast in this first section. As you can see in the top right there, we're gonna cross the sector at just 8/10 away from the time, and that will give us 1 penalty point. So coming up now, there's going to be another sector that we cross with 4.8 seconds. So that's going to give us quite a bit of points. 5 points. Now we're coming up to the hairpin. This is a bit of a funky hairpin because it's super easy to go wide, especially on the snow. But I mean, yeah, nothing really too crazy. We crossed that at half a second off. So that should give us no points. That's great. Here, I went off a lot. My back wheel would basically touch the cone. So be wary of that. And here as well, just at the end, I would basically just, you know, move over to the right and touch the cone. So be wary of that. So now we're going to go to the asphalt section of lesson number 4. And this one was a little bit weird. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard. But it was very technical. And the car is very fast on asphalt. So even when you're doing these hairpins, so it's like a hairpin left followed by a small straight. And a hairpin right followed by another hairpin left. You'll still most likely be a second or so above the time, or at least I was consistently, and that will give you a penalty point because again, every second that you're over or under the time, you're going to get a penalty point. Now I think they should allocate less than 35 because I feel like you can go flat out here and you're not going to get 35 penalty points. So you're not really penalized for going that fast when you technically should be, because you're trying to maintain like an average overall speed, I guess. But yeah, we crossed that one 4.6 seconds above pace, so that gives us 5-point penalty. And Jim actually warns us that we went a bit too fast. But now we're coming to the finish. I'm pretty sure I let off here. Yeah, I just downshift all the way to try and get as close as possible to a second. So yeah, that's a thumbs up, pass in our book. So let's head on to the gravel section now. And this one was a bit peculiar because I found myself being a little bit slow in the gravel for some reason. Now, I'm 100% sure this is just a driver issue per se, but yeah, I don't know. It feels like the gravel sections in the in the lessons, they made them just a little bit too hard. So there I was 1.5 seconds too slow. So that will give us 2 penalty points, because 1.5 seconds. I think here we were actually 3.6 seconds too quick. So I'm not sure how we can go slow. Here in that corner that we just went by, I would go off all the time. This is very important. You have to make sure to go slow here. I think it's basically trying to teach you control in this lesson, and it does a pretty good job of actually maintaining your pace so you're somewhat safe. So yeah, across the line, that's another pass. And there we have it, all 4 basic lessons done and dusted. They're really not that hard, they're quite easy to do. I hope that I could maybe help you if you're stuck somewhere, though I highly doubt there's going to be many people that have issues with this one. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you enjoy what you're watching. And stay tuned for episode 2, where we go through the advanced lessons.